My name is Josie Luster.
My name is Stephen Luster.
Hello, I am Stephanie Luster, the president of Essations Incorporated.
Hey, I'm Stephen Luster Jr., Director of Compound here at Essations.
Hi, my name is Crystal Luster, and I am the Marketing Director and Online Sales Director for Essations Incorporated.
I was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, to Precious and Florida Luster. I was the baby child of 9. And I was 5 years younger than the rest of my brothers and sisters. So, growing up in Chicago was kind of interesting. My life had several different changes to it. Early on as a little kid, I was spoiled because I was the baby. And, but then, life was pretty great. My mom and dad taught us love. We had to love one another, no matter what. We couldn't go to bed angry at one another. We had to talk it out. And my dad, he taught us how to work. Coming up, 8 kids. My oldest brother was married when I was born, in a condemned home or house, and we had to make it home, and we had to sort of resurrect it or rebuild it. And guess who had the opportunity to do that? We all did. Myself, my brothers, we all pitched in to do whatever chores around the house. Those times were a little bit more difficult than they are today as far as growing up. But with the things that, I went through, and looking back at it, it helped me be the person that I am today, because of the things that we learned from our parents. I didn't dream to be much. I just wanted to mirror and image what I saw with my parents. I wanted to be a strong Black man for the family, work hard, bring my money home, share with my family, treat my woman like a queen, take care of her. That was my only aspirations. And, just get a job and live what I considered a normal American life.
I came from the cotton fields of Alabama. I had a very difficult life. I was always told how ugly I was and how nobody loved me, and I suddenly learned that Jesus loved me. Then I was able to get through with all of that emotional trauma that people tried to bring to me. I had to focus on who I was and who I was going to be. And I used to question God about why I had to go through those things. But in recent years, I understand if I hadn't gone through them, then I wouldn't be as passionate about looking out for other kids and doing for them the way I am. So it was an experience God allowed me to go through so that He could use me in the way that He wanted to. My mom gave birth to me, and she left me in the primary care of my Aunt Perzelia. I didn't have a 2-parent home, and those were things that I wanted for my kids. I wanted them to have the experience of being in a household with a mom and a dad, to be hugged and loved by both of us, and to share some laughter and joy and even some tears at times, because to me that was important. So there'd be stronger men and women. I'm very, very grateful for my Aunt Persilia and my Aunt Hixie and Aunt Helen, all of my aunts that were there for me. I never lived in a house with my mom and dad. I never spent a night in my dad's house. I didn't stay with my mom until I was like 17 years old. And so I'm grateful of where I am and who I am and how God has brought me through.
Growing up in the hair care business, first of all, I thought that when my father said that he was going to the plant, that it was an actual physical plant. So I would sit in the front room and look at the plant that my mother had us water all the time and imagine my parents like falling down the leaves. But as a child of an entrepreneur, period, doesn't matter what it is, your parents are always on call, 24 hours on call. So sometimes you got a lot of time with them, most of the time you didn't. I also had to come to the plant and work my summers and after school and some weekends. So it teaches you structure, it teaches you how to work, and it teaches you, how to achieve things.
Oh man, it's rough being the only boy in this business. You get all the physical stuff, all the extra grunt work. You get to watch your sisters do things like leave early and you're still stuck.
Growing up as the youngest by so many years was interesting. When I was born, my oldest sister Karen was 18, Stephanie was 13, Stephen was 10. So I wasn't an uh-oh baby. My mom will tell you that, but I definitely came at a very interesting time. My parents had been in their business for like 9 years, and everybody just kind of had their own thing going on. And so I had a very fast pace, life, just basically surrounded by adults or young adults. And it was a learning curve for me to learn how to be a kid because I just wasn't used to being around kids. So it matured me for sure, and it taught me about a lot of responsibility. I think I was probably a little too smart for my own good, but I don't regret it. I feel like it prepared me very well for life. It was a little lonely not having little kids like me around, but I am grateful for the things that I did learn and for the friendships I was able to develop with my family along the way.
When I was a kid, I always wanted to be in the beauty industry. I knew I wanted to own a salon. I did not necessarily want to be a cosmetologist, but I wanted to be a part of the company that my father had built. And I wanted to be in the beauty industry for all of the creativity and everything else that was inside of it. I loved beauty.
When I was a kid, I wanted to be a pro baseball player. A bunch of injuries, opportunities missed, and here we are.
So I wanted to be a singer and a doctor when I was a kid. I had this idea that I would just do surgery and do a concert at the same time, and people would watch me from the gallery or something. I don't know why I thought that, because I really think that doctors are superheroes, and I am too, but just not that kind of superhero. I don't want to see the inside of a body. I could barely, dissect a frog in high school. So no, not for me. But the singing stuck. I've always been singing. I've been singing professionally now for over 10 years. And I've gotten into acting and improv and, just anything creative, writing, directing, all of that. So I've always loved the creative arts.
I'm a gym guy. I like to go to the gym, pump a little iron. I like to run. Anything to keep me as fit mentally and physically as I can. I'm a CPT and a weightlifting coach outside of here. So I deal with a lot of post rehab and athletic development for people who were either athletes or are recovering from injury or things of that nature, as well as working with people with other fitness goals. Weight loss, weight gain, powerlifting, Olympic lifting, all this stuff.
By this time in my life, I was around 18, 19. And I was traveling through the South. And I looked on the side of the road with a rag around her head picking cotton. I saw her. So she struck my attention. And, I asked her, did she want to come back to the big city with me? And so she said, yeah, but she was a little muddy, so I had to hose her off before she got in my car.
He has told that story so much that one time I ended up repeating it because it was in my brain.
But actually, during that time, 18, 19, I was in the Army, the U.S. Armed Forces. I was military police. And one day I was driving a Jeep. I was down on Main Post driving the Jeep. And I saw this young lady walking from the bus port over toward the NCO club. And so I whipped my Jeep up on the sidewalk, jumped out, said, hey, sweetie, may I have the pleasure of knowing your name? And asked her for her phone number and everything after we got through talking a bit. And then she sort of tried to throw a curve and say, well, I don't normally give my phone number out to guys, I said, yeah, okay. But she gave it to me. And so that's how we met. And the story goes on longer than that. Because it was, I guess, she had gone through some things I didn't know about. And I had gone through a lot of things too, that early in my life when it came to relationships. And so, I was sort of, kind of messed up a little bit in the mind on things that I thought was right, wrong, and different, or whatever the case may be. So, God plays a big role in that, because early at that age, coming up in the household I prayed for a woman. I asked God to send me a woman. And, but I was a little bit, how should I say, But anyway, I called her one day. And I didn't know that she was having an argument with her parents. And she kept putting me off, could you wait on, could you hold on, could you do this or whatever? And then finally she said, well, just call me back later. I said, yeah, way later. Hung up the phone. And so I never called her back. And about, 2 or 3 months later, there was a guy, McQuarrie, in the barracks. He came to me. I'm laying there relaxing. He said, let's go to the show. I said, man, I'm not going to the show. I don't have anything to wear but these fatigues and these army boots. I'm not going to go. Then he started talking about the man they have no feet and all the rest of this stuff. I said, look, Mac, be quiet, because he was like a junior reverend, so to speak, very religious. I said, Mac, just be quiet. I'll go. So I jumped up and I put on my clothes, and he and I went to the movie. And this particular day, when we paid and we started to walk into the vestibule, a lobby area. There was nobody there because the movie was about ready to start. I looked around, there was nobody there but her, standing over by the popcorn. I said, Mac, that's the girl I met a few months ago. I said, I'll see you later. I walked over and I asked her, we spoke, and I asked her, was she there with anyone? She said, no. I said, well, do you mind if I sit with you? She said, no. We got popcorn, we went back and sat down and watched the movie.
I attempted to watch the movie until all of his other women surrounded us.
Oh, no, she said the first time we met. She said the first time we met.
Well,
that was not the first time we met. And to finish my story, we have been together ever since. And I had to bring that religious aspect in it, because how do you get reacquainted with a person and nobody is in the lobby and somebody, kept bugging you to go, who was spiritually connected? It was just the will of God.
Absolutely.
My most favorite part about working with family is nothing. No, I'm just kidding. My favorite part about working with family is that I get to see these faces every single day of my life, just about, at least Monday through Friday. And I look at other people and they haven't talked to their siblings in a couple years, or they haven't talked to their mom in a few months or something like that. And they miss out on things, or if they get sick or something, then they're like, I should have spent time with them. So my time is automatically built into my business, and I get to see my family every single day. And I also get to see their own personal strengths and their own creativity come to fruition. And I love seeing that too. I love seeing each one of them excel at a different way and bring it all to the greater good.
So I can say that the most valuable lesson that I've learned working with my family, it's been actually two things. One is that you always love the people around you, and love is an action word. One thing that I can say about my family, no matter how many times we may not see eye to eye, no matter how many times we may disagree, we have each other's back. I know that if something comes up, we are going to be there. We're going to show up for each other. And we don't just do that to the people that bear our last name. We do that for people who need it in the community. This beauty industry and the people that we've met over the years have become our family. And when we relate to our customers, I make sure to always use the language, your Essations family, because that's what we believe in. We believe in family. We believe in relationship. We believe in not just a transaction, not just, we'll take your money and we'll give you products, but more so we care about, how people are. We care about how they're living, if they're doing all right, if they need anything. We care about people. And so that has really been a true mark of working with my family. It's taught me how to care about people.
I would not be where I am today without my family, my sisters, my mom, my dad. The love and the support of these very special people have kept me together and propelled me and motivated me to do more and more and more every day.
Entrepreneurship, it just runs in our veins. It is our legacy as a family, the entire Luster family. There is business after business after business in my family, whether it's in hair care or health care, or if it's restaurant or production. We've got so many entrepreneurs in our family, and I'm just so grateful and blessed that I get to be a part of a legacy of people who are like literally superheroes. We take an idea, nothing, out of thin air, and then we make it into something that can benefit not only our family, but those around us. And I feel like that is truly such a beautiful thing. It's one thing when you're an entrepreneur and you're excited and you're talking to people about your vision, but when people understand, they get it, or they add into what it is that you're doing, they give you ideas and they don't feel threatened by your business, that is a beautiful thing. And that's what my family stands for. So it's taught me that. It's taught me patience. It has taught me how to be careful with communication, because it's family. It's hard to separate business and family. That is the naked truth. It's difficult, but I know no matter what happens, no matter where we go from here, we have each other's back.
Well, actually, before I was in the Army, I was only about 17, 16 at the time. I had interesting time. Got sort of kicked out of high school. During that time, I got kicked out of high school. So I started working. I just got a job and started working. And my oldest brother, he was a barber who did fix the hair of a lot of celebrities or whatever. And he also was making some of his own products by himself. He would do that in the evenings and and then he would fix hair during the day and whatnot. And things started getting better for him, and he couldn't handle it all. So he came to me and asked me if I would come work for him, and he paid me 10 cents more than what I was making. I said, fine, I'll come and work for you. So I got into the hair care business, helping him and making products for him to sell and whatnot. And I stayed with that company up until 81, I believe. Then I hit a crossroads to where I had to make a decision because my oldest daughter had she got ill, and we found out that she had sugar diabetes as a juvenile. And so our life changed at that point because she had to have a couple of shots a day administered, and her diet was totally different and so forth. And I was kind of moved by that. So I decided at that point to start another company and support professional people, lobby and make quality, excellent products for them to use, and just put it out there and make money and be in a position to where when science sort of presented itself and expanded or advanced to the point where something can be done for my daughter, I could be able to pay for it.
The hardest part for sure of working with family is when you lose one. Losing Karen was the hardest thing we've ever been through. And I have had to fill her shoes in a lot of ways, more ways than one. I've had to work in her office and try to figure out how to move forward with a very integral part of your business, a very integral part of your family. All of the fights, all of the arguments, all of the disagreements, or times you don't see eye to eye, nothing even comes close to losing someone that you see every day. And our lives, have been changed forever by her. A lot of what we do is because of her. My parents started their company because of her. And I've worked as hard as I can to maintain the legacy and the excellence of this company because of her. She's a part of everything that we produce, everything we put out. You can feel her spirit, her sweet, sweet spirit.
Our oldest daughter meant the world to us. She was funny, and she was amazing. Okay, that's where the company name came from. The instruments and products they were using were made by a company called Clinitest. And so we took the clean part from that and added text on the end in her honor. And that's how we got Clintex. I had a real job in downtown Chicago.
Real job.
I was the token black at the different companies I worked for. And I tried to learn everything that I could because I figured at some point or another, it would be experience that I would need. So I learned how to do multitudes of things, especially working for a management consulting firm, online decisions. And so with the experience I gained there, I was able to bring it into our company. I continued working downtown for about a year after Steve quit his job and started the company. He would make products during the day in a drum in our basement, and at night we would fill it with a measuring cup and clean it up, and he would hit the street and sell it. And so about a year later, the Holy Spirit let me know I was to quit my job and go help him. So when I mentioned it to him, he told me I needed to talk to God again, because God couldn't have told me that, because my income was all that we had coming in. So my sister-in-law had a dream, and in her dream, it was a confirmation of what God had told me to do. So I quit and started to work for him the next day. And it was difficult for us at first. We had to learn how to coexist, how to honor each other's weaknesses, and how to manage the resources that we had, which were limited, but we made it through. And I'm forever grateful.
I first went to cosmetology school so that I can learn how to use our products on hair, because I already knew how to take chemicals and make products, but I wanted to see how to take those products and manipulate the hair or change it or take it from dry to moisturized or whatever the case may be. So in my mind, it was just the natural next step that I had to make with seeing the products work. I like changing things. I like to see a transformation. So whether it's just these raw chemicals that come together and turn into shampoo, or if it's taking a shampoo on natural hair and blow drying it out, I like to see the transformation. So once I went to beauty school and I became a licensed cosmetologist, I was addicted to it. I was addicted to the transformation, and I loved doing it, and I was good at it. So that's why I became a licensed professional in the beauty industry.
I am the most technologically savvy. I grew up with technology, and so, the cell phones and the computers and Google and all of that, I'm a little faster to understand it compared to my siblings and compared to my parents, who are here every now and then consulting and everything. And so it's, I help keep everyone up to date on the new technology. That has been difficult. Nobody likes change. It's not fun. It's not easy, but they get over it because I'm going to choose what works best for the company. And then as far as the creativity, I feel like my natural inclination to anything creative, cameras, production, lighting, sound, editing, and different things like that, I think I really bring a real value in that particular area. And then my passion for storytelling, just being a director and a creative. I love telling stories. I love engaging people. And so I've had to really fight tooth and nail. I'm just going to put it out there with my sister, because, she likes to be the visionary and give the vision and inspire everybody and just like, okay, go and do. But then having to be in front of the camera to do that, she doesn't always like that. But she's gotten so much better over the years. And so I'm so proud of her.
Years of experience and a want to make some very quality product. Leadership, I think I'm going to bring to the company as well.
I had a nice big afro.
A little lopsided.
So was his. But yes, we wore them. And but ours were more tapered and looked neat. It wasn't like the afros today. And so we took a lot of pride in wearing it. But we also learned after a while, it started to damage your hair. And so we had to make some changes. That's when I started getting a relaxer.
I had an amazing curl. And it wasn't a Jerry curl, thank you very much, because Jerry curl would speak to the brand name of the curl. I had an Essations curl reformation system. It reforms the curl of your natural hair. You hear me now, okay? So when I was younger, I went from natural hair and then I went into a curl reformation system. You couldn't tell me anything about it. And then after that, the relaxer became popular. And I was like, I want a relaxer. So I went into a relaxer. And I tell you what, when I got older and I went to my natural hair, I kept saying, I wonder what my natural hair is like. And I know there's a lot of women out there that went through that. We've been wearing some type of process in our hair for our entire lives. And I went natural. And I thought, I understand, Mom. I understand.
My hairstyle has definitely changed. As a person that was out in the world promoting a company, I wore my products so that people would look at my hair and how it was styled and how it looked and would want to emulate that. I had turned a little gray. I had a gray spot right in the side, on the side of my head, about an inch and a half wide when I was 13 years old. And so I dealt with that. I used a little dye, and I would promote the curl and a style we call a combo. We would put the curl on top and relax on the side. I would get it dyed, and then I would have it trimmed, and everybody thought I was from the islands, man, you know. And it was great. I mean, I enjoyed it. I liked the way I looked with it. But I changed. I didn't really change because I wanted another look. The pandemic came along, and things became a little bit more difficult for me to see my hairstylist and go through this process, and everything was locked down. So I started getting it cut, the dye went away, the blackness went away, the gray took over, and it was simpler to take care of. So I just rolled this one all the way back.
My current hairstyle, as you can see, is just a short pixie, spiky. I got some color, y'all. I'm purple now. I like to have creativity with my hair. I don't do much different, but I do like to play with some colors sometime. I just sit down in the chair and say, do whatever you like. But evolution of my hairstyle, I can remember being shorter when I was a little bit younger, then I wanted to grow it out. And I grew it out and got this longer hair, and then I had my kids and I let it go all natural and wore keratin. And then after that, my cousin passed away, and there were a couple tragedies that happened back to back. And my hair started shedding. The stress started pulling some of my hair out. I think most people, or most women at least, can identify with that. And as my hair started to get thinner and the extensions wouldn't cover it anymore and the natural hair just wasn't as full, then I went on and cut it off into the pixie style. And I got a relaxer. And I've been wearing my hair short since then. So there's been a lot of transformation, and I like to keep it fresh. I like to keep it either flipped up or smoothed down. And you might see me with blue. You might see me with purple. You might even see me with blonde. You never can tell, but I always like to switch it up.
So growing up in our family is honestly amazing. We have an amazing family that is known by our love and how we love people, how we try to help people. We're by no means perfect, but we love people and we love each other.
My vision for this company is to be the partner of everything beauty for not only cosmetologists, but for consumers alike. My vision is to see freedom. My vision is to let women be able to redeem who they are in the inside and not be judged by what they are on the outside. My vision is to take those stylists and those cosmetologists from just having a hustle as a business to really creating a business that's sustainable and that's scalable, that will help them create legacy for their families as well. I guess my vision is for a better woman. My vision is for a better community of women, and I'm excited about that.
I want my legacy to be that I tried to do everything that God instructed me to do, especially pertaining to children. That's my my biggest ambition now, aside from helping to grow this company, I always want to look out for the kids, especially those kids who've been told that they're not important or how they don't look pretty, or nobody loves them. I want them to know that I love them and that God loves them. And I hope that my family will keep that going.
The legacy, I think that I would like to see. I'd like to see the company continue, and I would like to see it flourish and grow, and everyone out there sample our products and see the quality that's in there, see how it changes the texture of their hair, see how they look with it. And then as the company grows, we could take that opportunity to help others who have issues and be a part of the solution with solving problems that we have as a people.
I want my customers to feel pride. I want them to feel valued. I want them to feel and understand that I personally and our entire staff, we stand by them. I want them to feel free. So whatever they choose to wear, whatever they choose to do, that healthy hair that they need to accomplish that style or that color or those extensions, it's already in place because they're using the Essations brand, and that's what's going to help them get through it from style to style, from service to service. They're always going to be taken care of by their partners in Essations. So freedom. I want them to feel love. I want them to feel valued. I want them to feel that when they open up the container, they put the product in their hands and they put it on their head. I want them to feel what we put inside of it.